I'm Lauren Pacheco. I'm with Prince William County Police Department, and I went to Puerto Rico in December of 2017 to assist Puerto Rico with the aftermath of the hurricane.
My name is Officer Alex Aguino. I work with the Prince William County Police Department.
My name's Investigator Drum. I work for the Prince William County Crash Investigation Unit.
When we were down there, we were responsible for assisting Puerto Rico police with directing traffic and maintaining the intersections that are still currently without power.
We had a lot of detectives that were handling the posts. So some of them were robbery detectives, some of them were homicide detectives. So they weren't able to do their job proficiently without doing the post and getting those calls for service. So we were able to relieve them so they can go and do their job and do the police work in their day-to-day work that they do. And also you have to think about is the fact that many of these officers haven't had any break since the hurricane hit. So many of them have been working, who knows, days, 14-hour days, 12-hour days straight without any breaks. So it was also a time for them to kind of just relax a little bit and just go handle and do whatever they needed to do.
Imagine an intersection like Minnieville and Dale. That's what we would have for 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. It would run by itself in the middle of the night. If you ever went out after you got off, it was utter chaos with cars. No traffic lights. All the stop signs are gone. Speed limit signs are gone. Your normal entry exit to highway signs are gone. But yeah, we were down there making sure that there weren't any issues through intersections, on the highway, on the roadway. And it flowed fairly smoothly, and we would get a transition between Puerto Rican Police Department and us. They'd come out and relieve us, and then we would relieve them so they could take a break. And they've been working non-stop for the last 3 months, just going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home. So us showing up was a relief for them, to give them a break, to be able to go home, visit their families, fix their homes, even eat a meal for once in quiet and peace without having to answer a call. So I'm glad we were down there to help.
FEMA was there. They had set up a command over at one of the, I guess it was like a stadium, a Coliseum area. They were handing out water and supplies. In addition, there was, I guess, the National Guard that was down there. Also, they would stop and hand out water. And even the citizens that were down there kind of supported us in terms of it was hot and we were in the middle of the intersections for hours, and they would bring us water. Even though they don't have enough, they made sure that we were taken care of as well while we were there.
Like, we got to see people from, at least when I was there, from Montana. We saw people from Massachusetts, from New Jersey, New York. So it was a big collaborative effort. And of course FEMA was heading it, but it was nice to see agencies from all different parts of the U.S. coming together and just bringing some sort of relief. Although it was, even for those couple of hours, just bringing the relief to those officers and to help out the people. The gratitude that we received from the Puerto Rican people was just, it was amazing.
I can't thank the citizens of Puerto Rico enough for the hospitality they showed us. Even when we were directing traffic, I don't think we went an hour without getting fed, without bottles of water. We were down there for Thanksgiving, and my car was filled up with Thanksgiving food, knowing that we were down there during the holidays away from the family. But they made it feel like home away from home when we were down there. And like I said, I can't thank them enough for the hospitality that they showed us. We were down there helping, and like the atmosphere down there alone, Puerto Rican American flags on every car, every business. We had gifts handed to us, flags, hats, patches. It was a good experience. But so for people that have nothing right now, they were willing to give up everything.
I think it's like if a natural disaster were to happen anywhere in the country, the poorest areas would probably be the last ones to get any type of power. Like in San Juan, it was a lot more. There was more power there, but even in the areas that there were power, there was only power from certain time frames. So, for example, in the area that we were in, there was only power from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. And after that, there was no power. So most of the areas didn't have power, or the poorest areas didn't have power at all. And even some of the officers that we were with, they were telling us that they haven't had power since the hurricane hit, which is about 3 months ago.
Everything is run off of generators. Anything that's open runs off a generator. Most people don't have power. Every power pole you can think of, known to man, is either twisted, ripped off its foundation, roofs were ripped off, doors, windows broken. Most cars down there have some kind of damage to them, the windshields, hoods, you name it. But it's utter devastation down there right now.
Definitely food and water. Water is a big thing down there, especially because with natural disasters, their water wasn't safe to drink. I know a lot of us were even very hesitant to use ice or anything. Batteries and water, I think, would be the main thing, because they needed flashlights or they needed to keep a heavy water supply, and that would be definitely the two main things to be prepared for, because sometimes when disaster hits, you don't have those kind of two basic necessities you're going to need.
Well, the most people, what they needed, what I saw, was electricity. Some of them didn't have any power, and you go up with maybe 1, 2, 3 months without power. It's very challenging. It must be very rough for families out there. So maybe backup generators, especially if there is a threat of a hurricane or some sort of natural disaster. When we were at, for example, at the Walmart down there, there was a new shipment of generators that came in, and people were just lining up to buy them. Like it almost looked like it was Black Friday down here. Only over there they're buying generators. That, and then water.
Just the utter devastation. I mean, like I said, you take for granted you can walk out on our streets and there's relatively no trash. There's relatively no destruction. You have a broken down car on the highway. We pick it up. We take it to a tow yard. And then there's cars off the side of the road. The animals, still animals running loose down in Puerto Rico. I don't know if they're unclaimed or the fences are blown down. But we would always have horses come up the intersection that looked malnourished. But the citizens would stop, get out of their car, and try and round them up and get them back to the owner, which was unbelievable. And they'd sit there and wait. But like I said, the devastation was, we see a little bit of it here, but we have the resources to pick up and clean up and get the ball rolling again. Down there, right now, it looks like the resources are limited, and like I said, they're working beyond their means. And them trying to play catch up is something that's going to take a very long time for them to do. But like I said, the buildings, homes, businesses, and even the businesses that were torn apart, they would run the generator, turn the light on, put the stove on, and still cook you food, just to keep, I guess, a sense of normalcy going.
It was a very humbling experience. I've never went down to a place like that had just had a natural disaster occur. So for me to go down there, and even flying into San Juan, seeing all the devastation and landing and talking to the citizens and seeing how grateful they were that we were down there and helping them out, it was very rewarding and reminds me of why I do my job. So being able to help them and at least contribute enough to what we did, and seeing how grateful they were, it was a very great experience.
It was a very humble experience. We had to wake up around 5 in the morning. We had to be at our post around 6 in the morning, and we weren't done until about 5 o'clock p.m. And it's about 81 to 90 degrees out there, and sometimes it's sunny and sometimes it rains a whole lot. So you're on your feet for a good 10, 11, 12 hours a day. So it was definitely challenging, but it really, the humbling aspect of it is that you appreciate what you have back home. And the fact that something as small as, a traffic post here, and what would happen if that traffic post were not to work, it causes a little bit of chaos in the city. So we got to see that firsthand.
Whenever they need help, just call. We'll come running. I'd expect the same if we need help. The PRPD guys, you would imagine, you think it's a different kind of atmosphere, but blue blood runs in blue blood, doesn't matter where you are. So whether it's Puerto Rico or Alaska or Germany, it's blue blood. So whenever they need help, just give me a call. I'm happy to come down. So that's it.